Caution, rabbit holes ahead.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
So here is the story as it's commonly known on record. A little girl is found wandering in the K-Mart of Spanaway, Washington on December 12, 1985. She's wearing nothing but a shirt and a diaper. The question is, where are her clothes? Where are her parents? And where are her clothes? It's 40 degrees outside. Where are her clothes? Why is she not wearing clothes? An employee at K-Mart finds the little girl, takes her to the back, and announces on the PA system that there's a missing child.
Attention shoppers. We have a lost little one looking for their mom. Mom, if you could please come to the customer service department at the back of the store. Again, we have a lost little one looking for their mom. Mom, please come to the customer service department at the back of the store. Thank you.
Closing time comes and no parents have arrived to pick up the little girl. So the employees call the police department. The police come. They take the little girl to the hospital to make sure that she's okay, get her all checked out, look for any signs of hypothermia or injuries or anything like that. Don't find anything. And she is temporarily placed into foster care. On that very same night, Mike Reimer's best friend Stephen Tew and Diana Robertson's mother, Louise Conrad, burned the midnight oil, emotionally driven to search the dark woods throughout the night. What if they were stuck in the mud or needed a tow or had a flat or even just needed another vehicle to kickstart the battery? It could be something like that. But the dark night began to lift and the sun came up over Mount Rainier, and they reluctantly headed back north to try to sleep for a few hours before setting back out, this time with a great deal more people as a massive search effort was rallying and underway. The nurse who had seen Crystal the night of December 12th and got her all checked out and made sure that she was okay and set her up with the foster care for temporary custody, she saw the missing persons report on the news for Crystal's parents, Diana Robertson and Mike Reimer, and then called the foster care home to let them know that the little girl that they had was the one that was of the two missing victims. Shortly thereafter, Louise Conrad, Diana's mother, was able to reunite with her granddaughter. Baby, where's Mommy?
Mommy's in the trees. Mommy's in the trees, in the trees. Mommy's in the trees. Mommy's in the trees. Mommy's in the trees.
From the time Crystal was picked up, she never spoke. She didn't answer any questions, so when she was asked by K-Mart staff, later police officers, then staff at the hospital, and then the foster homes, they asked her name, age, what happened to her mom. She didn't speak a word. She made no sound at all. So you can imagine how shook this made everyone when she did respond, and to her grandmother, with such a profound sentence as "Mommy is in the trees." Not only is it complex, it's wickedly haunting. Friends and family had made the K-Mart in Spanaway their unofficial hub to meet and plan search grids. Christmas and New Year's came and went. The search, initially extensive, began to scale back as repeated efforts turned up no new clues. On February 16, 1986, an unnamed man, woman, or couple was walking their dog way out on the logging roads and happened upon the abandoned red 1982 Plymouth Arrow pickup with a white canopy registered to Mike Reimer. And next to the truck, under a layer of patchy, melting snow, was the body of Diana Lee Robertson. She lay face down, naked from the waist up, and around her neck was a knee-high athletic tube sock distinctly knotted, just like the one that had been found 4 months earlier around the neck of Ruth Cooper, though neither of the women showed signs of strangulation. Later, Diana's autopsy would reveal that she had been stabbed 17 times. The truck yielded few clues. A small amount of blood was found in the seat, but Detective David Nizer of the Lewis County Sheriff's Department stated that unfortunately, after 2 months and about 2 weeks, some of the characteristics of the blood were lost. They were not able to tell us what the blood type was, but they were able to tell us that the blood was human. Up on the dash, inside, at the base of the windshield, was a plain 5x7 empty manila envelope that read in all capitals, "I love you, Diana." Mike's winter jacket laid on the seat and did not accompany him into the woods or wherever he had disappeared to. Where was Mike? He became their only suspect. As Mike had been arrested 4 months prior for domestic violence in October of '85, he'd been awaiting a hearing even, but Diana had dropped all charges before Thanksgiving and her upcoming 21st birthday on December 4th, just a week before her life had been taken. Searching for Mike was frustrating, especially for Mike's father most of all, especially since he knew the area, he knew the signs. He knew that Mike had been taught everything that he knew, but a manhunt for murdering his girlfriend? That was something Lloyd refused to accept, and he never gave up. He'd even put up a $1,000 reward for leads on the couple's whereabouts when they initially were reported missing, and went on one-man searches for them nearly every day. Even Mike's cousin, Don Sankwich, would make rounds driving up and down the woods near Fort Lewis and Toole Lake near the Nisqually River for hours and hours. Lloyd had also noted that Mike had not picked up his last paycheck from the week before his disappearance, and police reported that Mike's bank account hadn't been touched. Mike also had a daughter from a previous relationship who he would see regularly, but hadn't contacted. Lloyd had even hired a private investigator, but his only lead was the Salvation Army bell ringer, the Santa Claus, at the K-Mart, who said that he did see the red truck in the parking lot, but when he went on break and came back, the truck was gone. He never saw who was behind the wheel. Eventually, the case ran cold, until Saturday, March 26, 2011, when a man named Phil Reynolds was out looking for property stakes for some land he had purchased near Mineral, Washington. He had been with his neighbor, and when an out-of-place rock showed up, he was surprised upon further inspection to find that it was a skull with a small tree jutting from one of the eye sockets. Reynolds said that the skull was found just a few hundred yards from where Diana's body had been found decades earlier. He was quoted in a small local paper saying, "It was actually pretty clean, being under that cover. I suppose that helped, but like I said, it had a big hole in the side here, and the temple, where he got hit pretty hard with something, and no teeth at all, just the upper part. I was amazed." It was reported that the remains of Mike were also discovered very near to the skull, and that the investigators had found a heavily weathered ID card, but it was impossible to read along with other possible evidence. But none of it was disclosed. Tests would eventually confirm that the shocking news was that the skull did belong to Mike Reimer, 26 years after he'd gone missing. I don't know about you, but I have some questions. Why don't you join me in the next installment, which has already been put up, to go over a theory that I have, because I think I have something that no one else has touched on, at least not out loud. What do you say? Want to go down a rabbit hole with me?